throws it down. Minnesota's biggest lead is 7. It's stolen by Conley. He pickpockets Murray. And shoots. Conley will slither inside. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. That's what it feels like to see your team consumed by the Wolves. I thought the Denver Nuggets would be my safe haven from soul-crushing losses. Stream Game 7, they said. The Nuggets are back at home. No way the Wolves are stopping the MV3. The Nuggets have pretty much the same team they did last year when they won it all. What could go wrong? Well, after the state of Colorado, like a bunch of fucking morons, willingly reintroduced Wolves into the wild here, we basically invited these Timberwolf assholes into our home to claw off our very own faces.
Oh, there's a steal by Edwards. Here he comes, and there he goes.
I wanted to go mining for a little gold, a little sports joy. Instead, the only nuggets I got was that weird pink goo that somehow turns into McDonald's chicken nuggets filling. Deep fry that shit in some month-old trans fat-laced canola oil and feed me until my heart explodes so I don't have to watch my sports teams choke away another game. Oh yeah, I forgot. The part that hurts, that stings, as the Nuggets blew a 20-point lead in the third quarter to lose this one. They were up 15 at halftime, but wait, it gets worse. Go back to 2019. Denver blew a 17-point lead to the Trailblazers in Game 7, giving us 2 of the largest leads blown in NBA history in Game 7s. Do you know why the Timberwolves are perfectly constructed to beat the Nuggets? Because Denver let their president of basketball operations, Tim Connelly, walk in 2022 after he built the Nuggets into the team they are today. And now, yeah, he's doing it in Minnesota. And like a sadist, I am wearing the Wolves to fully embody the pain I feel today. Oh, never did I think I'd be doing a new worst game in May. That said, I think I'm handling it better than Michael Malone.
How hard is it just to absorb a loss like this after going ahead by 20?
Next question, man. The season's over. That's what's hard. Fuck being up 20. The season's over. You don't understand that. The season's over. It's hard. Stupid ass questions.
I don't think that was really a bad question, Michael, per se, but I'm gonna use that clip forever in the new worst ever.
Stupid ass questions.
Today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped.com/goodsports, and this month Manscaped is making it as easy as possible for you on Father's Day. Don't know what to get your dear old dad? Well, let me recommend the Handyman. My dad is actually a handyman. He can fix anything, build anything, which is why I'm such a disappointment to him. But that all changes when I get him the best electric face shaver around. This little guy is compact, great for travel. I used it on my recent trip to Hawaii, and it's the only electric shaver that's ever worked well on my neck. It's got dual blades, which means 2 blades, your standard foil blade and a long hair leveler, and all dads appreciate a good leveler. It can knock down face hair that's overgrown up to 3 days of not shaving your beautiful face, and it's waterproof, so you can do it at the first row at SeaWorld if you want. And maybe it's time to gently nudge your dad towards shaving those unruly nose hairs. Throw in the Weed Whacker 2.0 for Father's Day, the best nose hair trimmer around, and he'll get the hint. So use my link below, manscaped.com/goodsports, to get 20% off plus free shipping to make sure your father doesn't take you out of his will after Father's Day this year. I'm getting back in, Dad. But before the Wolves swallowed the Nuggets whole, 98-90, Denver was playing great. You know what they say, the day is always brightest before the dawn. before the dawn turns into a pitch black nightmare where all the ghouls come out to haunt you to your core. That was the story of the Nuggets-Wolves Game 7. Denver played an excellent first half of b-ball, something they quite frankly struggled with quite a bit during this postseason run. They trailed the Lakers at half in pretty much every game of that series, but Jamal Murray, he was heating up, leading the charge for Denver in the first half. He had 24 points in the first half before Ant decided to become his parole officer and put him in handcuffs.
I had Jamal in handcuffs.
Murray, of course, hit 2 game winners against the Lakers, something no other player has done in a playoff series ever, anytime ever. Murray did it. Against Minnesota, though, he was a little more Katy Perry. He's yes and he's no. But it felt like he was setting up for a massive night. Jokic was facilitating, Murray was dominating, and Christian Brown's hands were making up for some bad passes all the way to that 20-point lead. Now you expect to win a game where the other team's best player shoots 2 for 20 from 3 and 6 of 24 overall from the field, especially on your home court. You expect to win a game when you have 2 players score at least 34 and no one on the opposition scores more than 23. But when you only put 8 different guys on the floor and 5 of them score 5 points or fewer, you're going to be in trouble. And that's what happened to the Nuggets. Only Murray and Jokic were in double figures, although neither of them shot 50% from the field. Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. combined for 76 minutes and just 11 points and 2 assists. Holiday and Reggie Jackson played 14 minutes combined, contributed 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. The bench was terrible. They had to rely on their 2 superstars, which turned into 47 minutes for Jokic in a game where he clearly got tired by the end of it. Maybe he's back on that soda. I don't know. Mike Malone had a chance to give Joker some rest in the third quarter and kept him out there. And we know it couldn't have possibly been worse without him on the floor because they already squandered their 20-point lead with him out there anyway. Why didn't you rest Jokic, Michael?
Stupid ass questions.
Fair enough. 55 of the Nuggets' 83 shots came from Jokic and Murray on a night when neither of them were shooting 50%. Meanwhile, the Wolves had 6 players in double figures. Oh, and they got to the free throw line 14 more times than the Nuggets. Now, it wasn't Anthony Edwards keeping the Wolves alive early. No. 'Twas Denver's greatest enemy, a man by the name of Jay McDaniels. Oh, you satanic fuck you! No man has screwed this town more than one Jay McDaniels. And the Jay McDaniels of the Wolves was their leading scorer in the first half. And by the end of the game. And every time he touched the ball, I got the opposite of a boner. What is the opposite of a boner called? It's called a McDaniels, a Mickey D's, where your penis turns softer than that goo they used to fill those McNuggets. If you watched the live stream, then you know I did not like the way the man named Jay McDaniels was playing. I had a bad feeling. But like you do with any feeling you don't like, you push it way down inside and ignore it until it turns into cancer. That's when you deal with it, the way God intended, with powerful man-made drugs via medical science. Josh McDaniels, of course, destroyed the Broncos when he was their head coach, somehow escaped Las Vegas with an undefeated record against the Broncos as their head coach in Vegas, and now this Jay McDaniels became the second youngest player in NBA history to have back-to-back elimination games with 20-plus points and 3-plus steals and blocks, completing the holy trinity of Satan's Denver Grundle. Apparently, Michael Jordan's the only other dude to do it younger, which is impressive for a baseball player. But all that momentum Denver built began to fizzle and slip away in the third quarter from hell, despite that now infamous 20-point lead. In the middle of the third quarter, the Nuggets went on a 10-minute, 33-second stretch where they scored 3 points. Meanwhile, it felt like every corner 3 was open for Minnesota, and McDaniels and Mike Conley were knocking them down. Edwards hadn't been shooting well, but he started affecting the game with his defense. A couple of his steals leading to breakaway dunks on the other end, and then of course he drilled a step-back three over Aaron Gordon to cut the lead down to 1 heading into the fourth quarter. And much like in that scene in An American Werewolf in London, the transition was slow and painful, and the final result was death to all who doubted the Wolves. And suddenly, I felt as if the 1985 comedy Teen Wolf starring Michael J. Fox was actually a documentary.
He's got class. A keg of beer.
Okay, fine, I know calling that a documentary is a stretch, but I will tell you who I am boycotting: Adam Sandler. His Netflix film, Hustle, starring former Nuggets foreign-born 15th overall draft pick Juancho Hernan Gomez, whose nemesis in that movie is Anthony fucking Edwards, the real Anthony fucking Edwards, gets into his head by pretending to be a pedophile, if my memory serves me correctly.
Look, she likes me. Oh, shit.
Aaron Gordon, also in that movie as well. This is the curse of the Sandman. Now, Jokic got cold. That's what happened in the second half that cost the Nuggets everything. He finished the game 2 for 10 from 3. I think he missed his first 6 3-pointers, and he was forcing those shots because he was missing a lot of his shots in the paint that he normally makes. Usually when the Joker isn't scoring a lot, it's because he's facilitating so well. This time it was mostly because Karl Anthony-Towns simply played great defense against Jokic. And in the most twisted, torturous curse of all, Jokic, his final stat line, impressive. He had 34 points, which was a lot like Russell Wilson's box score all season, wasn't it? Wasn't it? But the moment that I knew God had forsaken the Nuggets was when Rudy Gobert nailed a prayer of a fadeaway jumper to give the Wolves a 4-point lead. All the bad karma from him having COVID and rubbing the microphones that started the pandemic back in 2020 appears to finally be gone. Even the Wolves bench couldn't believe that shit went in. Now, I thought this during the series, but hearing Jokic say it makes it true.
I think they're built to beat us in some point. I mean, just look at their roster. They have basically 2 All-Stars, 2 probably the first defensive players in the year. Mike Conley, who is the most underrated player in the NBA, probably.
Which is backed up by this stat. Tim Conley made the only defense in the NBA who could hold the Nuggets under 100 points consistently. The Wolves just might be a bad matchup for everyone in the league at this point. But as a true narcissist, I like to pretend this was all constructed just to disappoint me. The worst thing about the Wolves, I can't even hate them. How am I supposed to hate Anthony Edwards?
I have not been to Minnesota in probably 20 years.
Bring your ass.
Hey.
I can't even get satisfaction from my side chick in the Denver Nuggets anymore. Do you know what it feels like to be denied sex from your wife and from your mistress? Jesus, that's also like an Adam Sandler movie, this time Uncut Gems, a movie with a slightly darker tone than Hustle.
Get the kids out of the house.
Damn curse of the Sandman. In the end, the Wolves did indeed play like a pack of wolves, hunting together, moving in unison to take down their meal.
The Timberwolves, not Anthony Edwards, not Karl Anthony-Towns, not Rudy Gobert. The Timberwolves are a special team.
And the Nuggets played like drunk, old-timey, filthy prospectors who swung their pick too hard, too early, got tired, and didn't find any gold. We didn't find any gold in the hills, no, just a bunch of wolves who took our goddamn souls. Be careful, there's quicksand. No gold here, I tell ya, just other old dirty prospectors we're meeting up with in Cancun. And the only solace I have is knowing that Ant didn't do this to the Nuggets. Thank God he air fornicated the Suns and not us. After seeing the Wolves take a 2-0 lead, drop 3 straight, and then claw their way back to victory on the road, they might be the favorites to win the whole damn thing this year. I don't think Dallas is going to get their way, and I don't think either Indiana or Boston is going to scare them because, hell, they just went through the defending champion Denver Nuggets. We can say defending champs for a few more weeks. You better believe I'm gonna keep doing it. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports basketball edition of New Worst Game Ever. How's this video gonna do? Oh, we're about to find out. Can I hold your attention with basketball?